Welcome to The Force Always. My name is Diz, aka David Zammit. Let's get on with the show with the news, the views, the reviews and interviews. Making news, 2 fan films have hit the World Wide Web on YouTube, that is. 2 fan films have hit the web. That's right, 2. First one to check out is, let's get into this. It's called Star Wars, a Scout Trooper's POV during the Battle of Endor. Check that one out. It's just landed hours ago. And the other one that has landed is Star Wars, The Last Night at Echo Base before the Battle of Hoth. I'll give you a review of these 2 films later in the show in the review section, so stick around for that. Making more news. Really, there's no news that is good news when it comes to Starfighter at the moment. We are creeping slowly but surely to the Super Bowl, which, I'm predicting at the moment that we may get some sort of imagery, something of this particular film out there. Could be a miracle if it happens, but so that could happen there. But I think at the moment we're going to get the Mandalorian and Grogu at the Super Bowl, or possibly days beforehand. Just sort of keep people getting on the net, sort of scouring the internet, seeing what's happening. It's the only time that I'm seeing that the Mandalorian and Grogu full, proper, new trailer will happen. But it would be an expensive thing to do at the Super Bowl. Is the only reason why I don't think it may happen there. But the reason why I think it may happen there is because Star Wars, money bank is quite deep, and I'm sure they can spend some money advertising this at least once during the program. Anyway, so that is the news. Let's get into the views. Views is my story idea about something in Star Wars. I accept the story for what it is from the start to finish, whatever it is, from the actual timeline, which is canon, The Acolyte, all the way to The Rise of Skywalker Episode 9. That's the official canon timeline. I accept the story for what it is. Yes, there's ups and downs and lefts and rights that we all may not agree with, but you know what? At the end of the day, it's a journey, it's an adventure in space, and that's what it is. So my story idea this time is sort of an opinion and sort of a story idea. It's about what a lot of people know as Darth Maul, even though he's not a Darth anymore. He's just named Maul. So George Lucas, which I absolutely revere, 100%, was the chief creator in actually having him come back. He got him from the depths of his doom and sort of revived his personality, because he knew that there was more story to tell. And from, I'm sure, the fan reaction, it was so big to bury in the dust for then, so he sort of brought it back. That's what I'm thinking, that the reasons why. But we also had Palpatine, Emperor Palpatine, come back too in The Rise of Skywalker. The whole Emperor Palpatine coming back versus the whole Darth Maul or / Maul coming back. What is right, what is wrong? To be honest, coming back from the dead is, I think, a bit of a flaw when it comes to storytelling in Star Wars. I think it's just they need to think these things ahead somehow, and just use death a bit more, a bit more in length, I think, because you don't know what would happen. But I think the 2 deaths are as equal as each other in accepting for the actual story. The only difference is that a part of the fan base really hated the Emperor coming back. It just seemed to be too sudden, which I completely understand. It was sudden, but to have that type of way of hiding in the other side of the galaxy does make sense in my understanding of the story. It also makes sense to me that Rey, who is the granddaughter of Palpatine, was that powerful, that she must have had some sort of lineage to be this powerful. And to have her granddad be that person makes sense. That's what I like about that story. But the other part with Darth Maul coming back, that to me is probably, has lead substance in, in real story telling in coming back. Yet it was made by George Lucas. Now, don't get me wrong, I love George Lucas. He is a man on a mission who has actually just done so much from nothing with setbacks, everything. The odds were against him since 1973 or 4 when he started writing that movie. And obviously it really propelled when the movie came out in 1977, even production before that. The odds were against him. I absolutely revere him. But I think my story idea is not to have people or aliens or even droids come back from death. Maybe droids because they're, electronic. But I just think when they're dead, they're dead. That's my story idea. But I still accept the story for what it is, where it's gone. In both respects for Maul and Emperor and Palpatine and anyone else. But that is what I think. Anyway, that's my story idea this time around. Now, let's get into reviews. I've got 2 fan films I want to review. The first one I'm going to review is the first one that actually dropped, which was called, again, Star Wars A Scout Trooper's POV during the Battle of Endor. 11 out of 10. 11 out of 10. There's only some points in the actual production that you see a smidgen of the face in a faraway shot, especially of Han Solo hiding in that bunker. If you look at just before they pan up to his face, it's a little bit distorted, or it's an actor's or another face or something like that. It's the only little thing I saw. But this, because of the music, because of the angles, because of the absolute destruction in this film, which is unlike a Star Wars film, and the way that they really centered on that story timeline point was just well done. And just the AI goes, hand in hand. It's 100%. I think it's great. There's nothing really much there to adjust. But I tell you what, it's like, it's seamless. It's not just seamless, but the story and the music is amazing. Absolutely amazing. 11 out of 10. The other fan film that's just dropped shortly after that from a different YouTube channel, look up Star Wars The Last Night at Echo Base Before the Battle of Hoth. It's short and the music is really subtle, but it's very sad. It's just a really short film, but still 100% great. This is 11 out of 10 as well. I'm giving you 2 11 out of 10s. Now, not that I prefer fan films over the, the actual Star Wars, actual films, but these films are just giving so much story, so much psychological understanding, great music, it's amazing. These are really, really, really good. I'm telling you still that the movie industry is in danger with this AI. It's just incredible. Not because of the AI, it's because of the people telling the stories with the AI that's causing amazing. Anyway, so that is my review for this time around. Let's now get into interviews, and interviews is usually coming from my messaging area in the YouTube. I don't have a real Instagram at the moment, or X or Twitter like that, so please send in your questions or comments or whatever you want through this, deemed appropriate to the channel. So we have this usual guy. His name's Michael, and he's from Werribee South. He's on the other side of town for good reason. Anyway, so let's see what he's got asked today. So, what does the Empire really want with Grogu's blood? The leading theory is that they are extracting genes to create Force-sensitive clones for Palpatine, explaining why some clones, like Rey's father, weren't Force-sensitive. Well, that's a question and answer. He was, yeah, definitely. The reason why Grogu was so sought after is because they were seeking his blood to make some sort of intention of a force wielding army like stormtroopers, but using the force, which is actually a really good idea. But my God, lots of grey areas would have happened in why, when, how, but still, that is the reason. It's because Grogu was a rarity that has the blood that has the midichlorian count, which is controversial in the whole world, or the M count as they call it. Yeah, so they were seeking Grogu's blood because he was force sensitive, very strong force sensitive, and wanting to make an army intention out of that. So the next question coming from Michael from Werribee South is why did Grogu, sorry, why did Grogu trust Din immediately? Despite Din initially being his captor, the two shared an instant connection. Fans often wonder if the Force played a role, if Grogu sensed Din's hidden kindness. All I'm going to say, it's just a fatherly son connection that was instant. That's love. That's that type of connection. That's what they were portraying. It's pretty straightforward. That's the reason why it seems, it might be a little bit too sudden, be unusual, whatever. But you know what? Life is mysterious, and this was just a way to explain something that's mysterious in life in a Star Wars way, that unusual things can happen. So anyway, they took an instant liking to each other as like a father and son. And I think it makes sense. The next question from Michael from Werribee South, the other side of Melbourne, is did Grogu choose the right path? In the Book of Boba Fett, Grogu chose the Beskar chainmail representing his bond with Din over Yoda's lightsaber. Debate remains on whether he will ever truly be a Jedi, or if he is now just a Mandalorian foundling. Now, what he actually is just a little green creature that is very force sensitive, with no real backstory or even words to be said so far. And we can only take his story for what it is right now. He is, really in love with his fatherly figure, but as a, loving sort of fatherly figure way, not in a, romantic relationship. But yeah, so his dedication was to Din, which is the Mandalorian, and his just pursuit and his understanding, his respect is all about that. We may get further details in a couple of months when we see Grogu, the Mandalorian Grogu film in its entirety, and that's coming really, really soon. Anyway, the next question, again from Michael from Werribee South. He's just full of questions, this guy. But anyway, the next question is the title The Mandalorian Grogu a good choice? Some fans find the title awkward or cringy. Others suggest it was a strategic move by Disney to ensure casual fans know Baby Yoda is in the movie to drive ticket sales. Well, I think that is part of the reason, having the Grogu in the title. But it is straightforward, the Mandalorian Grogu. I don't think it can be really called anything else that would sell the film, but also be called something else that is, creates something else. I think the title, even though it's straightforward, I think it just does its job nicely and neatly. The Grogu add-on is obviously, so people know, people who know Baby Yoda is Grogu and he's going to be in it, and so people can go and see it. But I think that I've got no issue with the title. It's not the greatest title ever come across, compared to titles like Revenge of the Sith, or even Empire Strikes Back, or even The Force Awakens. Put that down. yeah, I just look. The title just is a straightforward, plain, simple, but effective title. Anyway, the next comment, actually, well, not comment, actually, it's from DJ Effects 3000. DJ Effects has sent me a link to a preview to a movie that is coming out. It's based in Melbourne. You can link, press the link on that that is put on there. Check out for yourself what that's all about. I'm sort of aware of it myself. Yes, and I'm very intrigued about the subtitle to that particular film to see if it is what it is saying. But, as I do know DJ Effects, and he is a great DJ that is a hip-hop based DJ here in Melbourne. He's a very good person, very unbelievable technical DJ when it comes to cuts, scratches, fading, all that type of stuff. I can't really explain the whole hip-hop genre in a Star Wars thing, but yeah. Press on that link, check it out. It's a preview to a film that's coming out. It's going to premiere here very shortly in Melbourne. It will follow through on whatever services they've got coming. But I'm personally interested to see if the subtitle to this particular film really holds up to what it really is. And I wish, DJ Effects, which on here 3000, all the absolute success. Anyway, that's from him. And the next question is from Michael from Werribee South. We're going to end off with Michael from Werribee South. Was Ahsoka wrong for refusing to train Grogu? Some fans argue that her fear of his attachment to Din was justified by Anakin's history. Others believe Luke was right that Grogu wouldn't be safe without mastering his abilities regardless of his bonds. Look, Ahsoka, essentially, which was the apprentice of Anakin Skywalker and walked away from the Jedi Order, technically to this day is not a Jedi. So she's not interested in training others in the Jedi arts. She is interested in protecting people. She is interested in maybe training someone, but not in a complete Jedi way. There was a lot of fallout from the whole Jedi Order since the episode 2 and 3 and the Clone Wars, where she sort of walked away. I think it was in Clone Wars she walked away from the Order, which was a great episode when she actually walked away. It was a very subtle but strong, rememberable time. And so I don't think she's refusing. She just hasn't chosen to train Grogu at this stage. It may happen. Whether we see her in this big movie, which we don't know, but the movie that is The Mandalorian Grogu. But yeah, so I don't think Ahsoka is wrong. She's just standing in her own belief system as her own spiritual understanding, almost like a religion, and that's what she's chosen to do. So yeah, that's the answer. And anyway, that is the show for this time around. Just remember to subscribe to this channel, The Force Always. I'm here on a weekly basis, about 2-3 times a week. We usually about 3 to 4 times a week. But with the news, the views, the reviews, and interviews of all sorts that is Star Wars related, please like and share this video if you want. And The Force Always. Until next time, my friends, keep rocking.